and action.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to debate competition. Here there are two teams behind me. Team 1 as the government team and team team 2 is as the opposition team. The motion of debate is this house would be supported by that penalty. Let's start debate by inviting of the first speaker of the government team. For the first speaker of the government team, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening to the respect speaker, question team keeper, Honorable Mr. Alif, member of opposition team and member in the class. I am the first speaker from the government group, and here I will discuss about the death penalty. And the point in the first speaker is the death penalty debtor's crime, and in the second speaker, I will discuss about the death penalty has been regulated in law, and lastly we will discuss about the death penalty harmonious with the spirit of the protection of human rights. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the thing that we are argue about the background behind the case of the death penalty is Indonesia is a country is law. The whole order is life society governed by law. A lot of the controversy about over the legal problem in a lot of controversy over the legal problem which are often debated. Is and the case is the death penalty. The death penalty is in fact already is first in the country of Indonesia since the day of new order until Reformation. Most the death penalty case argues the act of criminal of murder, drugs, terrorism, and politics. Ladies and gentlemen, on article UU2/PNPS/1964 explained that the implementation of criminal that determined by the courts in the judicial environment is public or military trial done in firing. Ladies and gentlemen, I am first speaker. I will pass my point is the death penalty debtor's crime. Total of people in Indonesia reach 200 people. So many cases can appear every day, and many people threatened now. It is difficult for government to save their life one by one. So the question is how to save the mayor. One of them is to carry out capital punishment for the crime that is very troubling, because the death penalty is going to be the effect of fear for those the perpetrated the crime will be next. Will do next. Death penalty proved to be more worse than other criminal penalty. So the death penalty could hinder the very evil. Thank you.
The first speaker of the government team spent 3 minutes 45 seconds.
Time for the first speaker of the government team. Now let's invite the first speaker of the opposition team. For the first speaker of the opposition team, time is yours.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable Mr. Ali, as the English teacher, happy audience, and timekeeper, as the first speaker of the opposition team, I will do some rebuttal for government team. Ladies and gentlemen, the first speaker of the government team said, they don't explain how is the mechanism of the execution. They don't explain more further about the execution. Ladies and gentlemen, the first speaker of the government team said that the death penalty will give different effect to the society. But actually, the death penalty will give fairness to the society itself. But because the character of the law, it should be obeyed. They will think twice and will realize they have to avoid it. The analogy is like this: as the motorcycle rider, we have to bring the riding license, but we have already bring the riding license and all parts of our motorcycle, but we still have fear. We still have fear when we see the police. It's same with the implemented of the death penalty. Although the society do the right thing, they will be afraid of the law. So, ladies and gentlemen, if we apply the death penalty, it is a contradiction with the legislation of Indonesia number 39 and 1999 about human rights. It says right to live is human right, which can be minimized no matter what happens. And ladies and gentlemen, based on legislation of Indonesia number 12 of 2005, page 6 verse 1, it says right to live is adhered in every human being, without see of any different status and citizenship. So, ladies and gentlemen, what's wrong if we give a chance to the suspect? They have right to live. As time goes by, human can be changed. If we kill the suspect, we do not give a chance to him. So because of that, our team is absolutely disagree with this motion. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the first speaker of the opposition team. Explain about the reason why we disagree this motion. And the second speaker will talk about strength point. And the third speaker will talk about another strength point. So, ladies and gentlemen, our team's solution is a jail. With impression the suspect, we define his movement. He is not related with his family. He will eat ordinary food at the jail, and he is in the place with the people who have the same condition. That's all, ladies and gentlemen. Our team is absolutely disagree about this motion. Thank you.
The first speaker of the opposition team said 4 minutes 45 seconds.
Time for the first speaker of the opposition team. And then let's invite the second speaker of the government team. For the second speaker of the government team, time is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this occasion, I am the second speaker of the government team. First, I say thank you for the time that was given to me. Remembering what is already described by the first speaker of the opposing team recently, he said that the death penalty should not be carried out considering the identity of our country that upholding of human rights. When you talk that Indonesia is a country that upholds human rights, do you forget the identity of Indonesia as a country of law? The first speaker of the government team earlier that Indonesia is a country of law. The whole order of life society governed by law. The law is the law. Indonesia is a country that has a law. Of course, every decision to punish the perpetrator of the crime have been adjusted on the basis of a clear. The death penalty is removal of the life of someone who has made a mistake or wickedness which is concerned with the lives of many people and has been proven guilty by court decision of the law. So, not all the crimes receive the death penalty. A country certainly will not be careless in setting of the death penalty. Same as Indonesia, which had a strong legal base used in carrying out the sentence of death, which during firing is already running since the old order era until now. The death penalty already imposed in the criminal code. Although in the Constitution stipulated the right to life, independent and others, but the rules below still list the penalty of death. The death penalty was dropped as the heaviest form of punishment due to the deed has been done. Not just murderer or terrorists or drug dealers who have the right to live and not torture, but innocent people also have the same right. To maintain the life of the community, then the violation of those rights deserve to be put to death. If we continue to talk about the principle of human rights as the identity of our country, then what about the imprisonment and others listed in Article 10 of the Criminal Code? Is it any perpetrator of crime cannot be punished because everyone has the right to life and not to be tortured? In one article that already listed in Constitution has mentioned that there are limitations with the law against of the human rights, including the right to life. So, the death penalty is constitutional because it is not contrary to the Constitution. The death penalty cannot be seen from one aspect only of the perpetrators, but also from other aspects, which are the consequences thereof by the perpetrators. Like the death sentence against the perpetrators of crimes such as narcotics. We must see it as protection against the right to life of many people. So that is underscored in this case is the interest of law against the human life that were imposed for crimes that may damage the social life and threatens the balance of society. If the rule was merely made in law, but the law is not enacted expressly, how can we get a justice based on human right itself? That's all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
The second speaker of the government team spent 4 minutes 46 seconds.
Time for the second speaker of the government team. Now let's invite the second speaker of the opposition team. For the second speaker of the opposition team, time is yours.
Well, actually, ladies and gentlemen, there is a misunderstanding from the affirmative team because actually our first speaker hasn't explained about those kind of things. I also want to do some rebuttal to the affirmative side. Well, actually, ladies and gentlemen, the affirmative team failed on explaining about this motion, ladies and gentlemen, and then they said that there are so many articles that can strengthen the law about the human rights. Meanwhile, we know that the article is not valid. They don't tell about the sources. So how can we know that the article itself is true and is believable and reliable, ladies and gentlemen? And they also said about the heaviest crime, the death penalty is suitable for the one who did heaviest crime. But ladies and gentlemen, we know that the legislation of Indonesia itself, passage 30, 39, 1999 and number 12/2005, which already explained by our first speaker, had already said. However, no matter what happened, in Indonesia, people have right to live, although they already did big crimes. If we apply the death penalty, it really contradiction with the Declaration of Human Rights in PBB, passage 3, 1948, that says every human has right to live. We know that Indonesia already joined the PBB from the 1950. So if we implement death penalty in Indonesia, of course it will bring negative effect in Indonesia. International world won't respect Indonesia anymore. They won't do cooperation. They won't do cooperate with Indonesia. Based on the BBC.com, there are 99 of countries who already disagree with the death penalty, including the USA and European Union. So again, we emphasize that if we apply the death penalty in Indonesia, of course it will bring negative effect to the Indonesia itself, because not many countries will respect Indonesia and will no longer want to cooperate with Indonesia. By implementing the death penalty, we truly forget our principle, because in Pancasila, first 2, it talks about humanity. If we apply death penalty in Indonesia, it's really contradiction with our principle. So if we imply this, what is the identity of our country again? And we know that the death penalty sometimes is for the suspect who has not many not much money because they can't pay a lawyer to defend themselves in front of the justice. They can't pay the lawyer, they don't have much money because of their home. Because only those points that I got from the affirmative side, so I only our opinion is just that. Thank you.
The second speaker of the opposition leader spent 5 minutes 2 seconds.
Thank for the second speaker of the opposition team. Now let's invite the third speaker of the government team. For the third speaker of the government team, time is yours.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, I act as the third speaker of the government team. Previously, I say thank you for the time that was given to me. Guys, is it true that the Constitution proscribes the death penalty? Or the opinions just put forward without adequate understanding of the Constitution itself? One thing is certain, the Constitution never set aside human rights protection for death row inmates, but for society as a whole. If he had killed someone, he has already distributed narcotics and it leads to a lot more to others, whether he deserved in the country corresponding to be Pancasila. So, the limitation was fixed. Although here, the right not to be tortured and so on, but this right can be restricted if it was arranged in legislation. Most among the states reject the death penalty have been quoting and interpreting Article 28I Constitution in fragmented. In citing the Article 20I Constitution, these groups are only deals with in paragraph 1. In fact, the text is still closely related to the next paragraph, with paragraph 5. Ladies and gentlemen, bear in mind that when a person is sentenced to death because at the moment he is running right, he violates the right of others in the environment. Thus, the application of the death penalty aims to protect the people who are afraid of certain criminal acts happen again, either by the same offender or another person. I want rebuttal for the second speaker of opposition view. Jadi di pasal 28 ayat 1. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Oh.
The third speaker of the government is spent 2 minutes for 54 seconds.
Time for the third speaker of the government team. Now let's invite the third speaker of the opposition team. For the third speaker of the opposition team, time is yours.
gentlemen, I will do some rebuttal to the government team. They don't explain more like the suspect is also the part of the society. Our solution is jail contradiction, deterrent, or solution is our jail. We imprison the suspect. We define his moral. He is not related with his family, get ordinary food, and he is the place with people who have some condition. With this condition, it means that he is feel the suffering longer than by giving that penalty. From this weekend, that with it are more giving different effect than that penalty. Thank you.
The speaker of the opposition team spent 1 minute 15 seconds.
Time for the third speaker of the opposition team. Now I invite the reply speaker of the opposition team. For the reply speaker of the opposition team, time is yours.
Ayo ini nganggo ngadeg.
Well, actually, ladies and gentlemen, as the opposition team, we fully disagree with this motion because by applying the death penalty, it's really contradiction with the legislation of Indonesia number 39/1999 and passage 5/2005, and also it's contradiction with the Universal Declaration of PBB 1948, passage 3, 1948, which says that everybody has right to live, has right of their freedom, and has right to save themselves. And actually, the affirmative team has misunderstanding with what already the opposition team explanation. And actually, the solution of the opposition team proposed that the death penalty should be changed by jail because of jail. We will limit the movement of the suspect. He can't relate. He can't have relation with his family, and he eats ordinary food, and he's in the same place with the people who have the same condition like him. And with this condition, it means that the suspect will suffer longer than getting suffer from the death penalty. We can know that from this, being jailed makes the suspect can get deterrent effect more than by giving the death penalty itself, ladies and gentlemen. Based on the BBC.com, there are 99 countries in the international world who already disagree with the death penalty, and if Indonesia applied death penalty, of course, there are so many countries who don't want to cooperate with Indonesia, and it will bring negative effect for the Indonesian country itself, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why we truly disagree with the applying of the death penalty in Indonesia. In Indonesia has principle about humanity and human rights. If Indonesia apply death penalty, it's really contradiction with that, and we lose the identity of the Indonesians. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
The replay speaker of the opposition team spent 3 minutes 30.
Time for the replay speaker of the opposition team. Now let's invite the replay speaker of the government team. For the replay speaker of the government team, time is yours.
Thank you. I will request from my team, government team, the death penalty will still run. Why? That doesn't mean we no longer upholding human rights, but in the country's constitution rule that are already created, listen the article that discuss the existence of restriction in legislation against the other human race, in the discussion of the right of life. So the death penalty, including constitution, because it doesn't conflict with the constitution. Not just the perpetrator who have right who have right to life to people who are not tortured but not guilty also has the same right. Then the perpetrator should be given the death penalty. The country is not possible careless in setting the death penalty. Indonesia also has a strong legal basis in applying the penalty shot and kill. The death penalty cannot be seen from the aspect only in matters, but also from other aspects of the consequence of the death, because the replay of the perpetrator. As in the case with drug crimes, which is over detrimental to other human beings. So the bottom line is the legal interest to human life again is enforced for crime that may damage the social order and the balance of the society. Thank you.
The replay speaker of the government team spent 2 minutes 32 seconds.
Time for the replay speaker of the government team. Please give applause. That was the end of the debate. Now it's time for the adjudicator for the give their feedback and decide who will be the winner. Who will give the feedback? Raka? Anybody? Come on.
No. Is it recorded?